Hi, welcome to Budgets in Dynamics NAV. This three-part video will discuss general ledger budgets and how to create, copy, export, and import budgets. We can find budgets under the Advanced Finance section and under GL budgets. As you can see, there are already two budgets created. Let's create a new one. So I'm just going to put in the name as 2018 Rev and then the description as 2018 Revenue Budget. For each budget, you can create up to 4 dimensions. So for the first dimension, I'll put in the area. The second dimension, I'll put in the business group. And the third dimension, I'll pick the customer group. To manually enter budgets, go to the 2018 Revenue Budget. Click on Edit Budget to open the budget window. You can sort by view by function by day, week, month, quarter, year, or accounting period. So I'm going to pick month. If we scroll down, we can see the filters section over here. Say for example, we can set a GL account filter from 4 to 4,999. So I'm just going to go and do that. As you can see, the accounts within that range will come up here. Since we want to see the revenue for 2018, we can set the date filter for that. So I'm going to put in from January 1, 2018 up till December 31, 2018. Setting these parameters will make it easier to enter budgets manually because now we can see the information that we want to budget in the right periods in GL accounts. So I'm just gonna type in some information. So let's say for sales resources domestic for January, I'm gonna put in 10,000. And then for February, I'm gonna put in 15,000. For March, I'm going to put in 20,000, and the same for April. We can add dimensions by going to the budget entry. If we click on the ellipses, the GL budget entries window will pop up. So let's do that for this amount. You can do this if you forgot to add a dimension or you assigned the wrong dimension and want to correct the budget entry. To add a dimension, click on the Edit list. So in this case, I'll just specify the department code as sales. And then for area code, I'm just going to pick 70 for America North. For business group, I'm going to add it as office. And for customer group, I'm going to be adding a medium business. So I'm going to go back into the filters. I'll specify that my revenue budget and each entry should be assigned to the sales department by default in the department filter. So I'll just put in sales. So for example, if I enter another budget entry of 80,000, say for February 2018, if I go into it, I can see that the department code is now marked as sales. So I'm going to go back into the filter section, and for business group filter, I'm going to choose office. So for example, I want to enter a budget by customer group. It would be much easier to show them as columns. We can do this by changing the field under the Show As Columns as a customer group. So now we can enter the budget per customer group directly here in the budget page. So now I'm just going to add in some values per institution and company type. So for institution, I'm going to put in 10,000. For intercompany, I'll put in 5,000. For large, I'll put in 20,000. And for private, I'll put in 1,000. So to spend less time creating budgets in NAV, we can use the copy function to copy budgets from an existing budget or actual budgets you've used in the year before. So for example, I created a budget for January 2018, and I wanted to copy this into February 2018 so that I don't have to enter my budget entries for February manually. I'm going to click on the Copy Budget function under the Actions tab. The GL entry is actuals, while the GL budget entry denotes an existing budget. And for budget entry, I'm going to pick the 2018 revenue budget. For date filter, I'll put in my source date as January 2018. So from the 1st up till the 31st. The closing entries, GL account number, and date compression fields are more important if your source is a GL entry. So since we're working from a GL budget entry, these fields are not as important in our case. For dimensions, I will assign these groups, which are the area, the business group, the customer group, and the department. Then I'd like to copy from the same budget, which is the 2018 revenue budget. So adjustment factor will be determined depending if you expect more or less revenue in February. So for example, if I enter 1.05 here, it means I'm expecting a 5% increase in revenue for February. For rounding method, I'm going to pick 10 since that's the easiest. And for date change formula, I'm going to put plus 1M to signify 1 month. So to see if the copy worked, I'm going to click on next period. And now you can see that the budgets are the same, except with a 5% increase for each month. Exporting budgets into Excel and importing them back into NAV would be useful because there we can use the copy or paste functions available in Excel to facilitate the creation of budgets over multiple periods. So we're back here in the 2018 revenue budget. We have January, which was created manually, and February, which was created using the copy batch job. So now I'm going to click on Export to Excel. For the start date, I'm going to put it as January 1, 2018. For number of periods, will be 12 months. And period length will be 1 month. For column dimensions, I've selected the area, business group, customer group, and department. And I've clicked on to include totaling formulas. So I'm going to click on here to download this Excel sheet so I can save a copy. So I'm going to open the downloaded Excel sheet. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to be adding some numbers into the budget. So I'm going to be putting in 10,000 here under February, 5,000 in March, the same amount for April, and 20,000 for May. And I'm going to save this sheet. file name, I would want to name it as the 2018 revenue budget. I'd also like to quickly point out that on the spreadsheet, so GL accounts will come up as lines on the spreadsheet, while periods will come out as columns. I can now click on Import from Excel in the ribbon. For budget name, I'm going to stick with the 2018 revenue budget. And for the option, I'm going to choose to replace the entries instead of adding to them so as not to double the entries. And for description, I can put in anything. So in this case, I'll put in exported from January 15, 2018. And then I'm going to select the file that we just created. So as you can see, it has been successfully updated with 85 entries. So as you hit the next period, you'll see that the numbers have been applied. So if I click on next period, you'll see that the budget should be applied. So that's how we can create, copy, export, and import budgets. Thanks for watching. The GL entry is actuals, while the GL budget entry denotes an existing budget.